Today we are going to look into the joins. Okay, so for the joins, we need to understand it first so that the things will be clear because joins is the most important concept of SQL. Okay, so let's understand it through one diagram, that is just a second. So this one, from this particular diagram, it is from educba.com. So we are considering it and we will understand the joints through this diagram, that how it works. Okay, so there are in total these 6 joins available in your MySQL. And what is basically joins? When we need to connect or merge two or more than two tables, okay, then we require joins to perform this particular task. Okay, so how that particular combination or how the particular data will get merged, it depends on the type of joins we are using. Okay, so the very first one that is in front of you here is self join. Okay, so self join, it means it is joining, the table is joining by itself. Okay, so self join, it means connecting by itself, like this one. Okay, so we will see the example of self join also, that how it is joining. Okay, then the second one is the right join. Okay, so before getting into the right join and the left join, we will understand inner join and the full join. So getting slowly into the concept. So the very first thing, that is the inner join. Okay, understand the concept of inner join, that you have two tables. Okay, and now you want to merge these two tables. Okay, so to merge the table, what you need to do, you need to combine them. This time, if you are using the inner join, the resultant table will contain only and only the things that are common in between these two tables. Okay, so if the things are common in between these two, then only the output will be there using the inner join. Okay, so let me search one thing in my data. Just a second. Okay, I will show you an example through which you will understand each and everything of it. Just give me a second. That file is not right now with me. I will show you that how it is working. Okay, so basically, suppose we will take an example where you will see. Let me move to this blank sheet. Just a second. Let me insert a blank sheet into it. So, what is this basically inner join? Let me give you one example. Okay. So, the example is that let you have two tables, that is table number A and table number B. Okay. Table number A consists A, B, C, and D. Okay. And table number B contains A, B, E, and F. Okay. So this is your table number A, or you can say table number 1, and this is your table number B, and you can say table number 2. Okay. So these are the four values in both the tables. Now I am implementing the inner join into it. Okay. So in inner join, when you will perform the task, right? So it will extract only and only the common thing out of the table. Okay. So getting the common thing out of the table, it means first thing is common, that is A. So the result will be this one. Then second thing, that is B again. Okay. So it will like B. It will check the third one, it is not common. Then fourth one, it is not common. Okay. So this is the table number C. Okay. Or you can say table number 3 after the result. It contain only this much of values into it, right? So this is how a inner join starts working. Okay. So now hope you understood that how it is working, right? So this is the one thing. Okay. So just a second, give me a second. Great. Why is it so? Okay. So if we will take examples, more examples of it also. Okay. So suppose you have two tables. Okay. One table having the customer ID, or okay, customer ID it have, and it have first name. Okay. FN. Second table, it has, this is your table number 1, suppose. And for table number 2, you have order ID. Okay. You have amount, and you have customer ID also. Okay. Three things are there in this table number 2, right? So what will be the entries? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Here we have, suppose, John. Here we have Rob. Say David. Okay. Again, I can say, let's say he is also John. and is Betty. Okay. In order IDs, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. In orders, let's say the values are 200, 500, 300, 800, and 150. Okay. Here again we have the customer IDs. So it is 10, 3, suppose 6. Let's take something common, 5 and 8. Okay. So what we are doing now, we need to combine these two tables. Okay. What do we need to do? We need to combine these two tables with some results. So what is the common in between these two tables? Let me know. What you find common thing in between these two tables? Anything common between these two tables?
Yeah, so the 5 and 5 from CX, customer ID.
Customer ID. So whenever you want to implement the joins, you must have one particular column that you can take as a reference column. Okay. So there must be a reference column in between the two tables. If there is no reference column, then you can't implement the joins. Okay. Full join is different. That doesn't need any reference column. Okay. But in all the other joins, you need your one reference column. Okay. The reference column is CID. That is customer ID that we have. Okay. So we will consider it as a reference and see what is the common in between it, because all the things, all the both the tables not possible to scan, okay, and find out the common thing out of it. That's why there must be one reference. Okay. So here we will look, is 1 available? No. 2 available? No. 3 available? Yes, 3 is available. So one common ID we found, that is 3. We will take F first name and you can say the amount, because we have amount in it and name, customer name here. So 3, that is David. Okay. And what is the amount for David? That is 500. What will be the second thing? 4 available? No. 5 available? Yes. So second ID, customer ID is 5, that is Betty. Okay. And what is the amount for her? That is 800. Anything common? No. So this will be your result table or final output table when you are implementing inner join. Okay. So like this, it is performed. Okay. This is the generalized way to analyzing what is common in my tables. Okay. But the thing is that joins are not working like this. How they are searching in both the tables. Let's understand that concept. Right here, you understood. In, let's say, in 80% cases, you can identify the common things like this. Okay. But sometimes it gets very confusing. How? Let's see. If I say instead of this 6, okay. Yes, yes.
Yeah, quick question. So in a real world scenario, let's say you're working, what is the importance of using this inner joins? Like what is, let's say, top 2 importance of using the inner joins and
practical implementation. You want to know the practical implementation according to the scenario.
Yes, scenario. And what requirements do you need to use the inner joins? What requirement would they give you? Let's say yeah.
Definitely, I will give you the requirement also. Don't worry. So basically, when we require the inner join, particularly whenever we need the common things out of these two tables. So suppose we have two tables. First table is your employees table. Okay. Second table is projects table. That is detail of projects that are completed in the company. Okay. Or the involvement of the employees in particular project. So detail of the project is there, and the employee IDs are also mentioned there, that with particular project number 1, these two employees are associated. Number 2, these two employees are associated. So we just need to know that who are the employees who completed their projects. Okay. So that, because this is a full list, complete list of employees. Say there are 500 employees in my company. Okay. And total number of projects this year completed is 200. Okay. And with each project, there are only one employee associated. Or you can say one employee can be associated in a multiple projects also. Okay. So I just want to know that who are the employees, because here I just have the employee ID with it. Okay. So I just want to map up or extract the information about the employees that completed their project. So I will implement an inner join so that the common in between the two tables will be extracted. Okay. So like that, your purpose is solved using inner join. Okay. Second scenario, you can say that you have a list. You have a list in which first you have your prime members, prime member list. Okay. So you have, let's say, 1000 prime members, right? Member ID, member name, member address, member email, all the informations are available here in prime member list. Then you have, let's suppose you have a offer period. Okay. Offers are there in last month and you run a campaign. So you have, you can say, all the invoice information. Okay. So invoice information you have. So you just need to know that in this particular offer, how many prime members purchased and of how much amount. Okay. So what you will do? So those prime members purchased in this offer who are in both the tables, right? Because in offer period, it is not necessary that only the prime members purchased. Okay. So maybe there is a list of 5,000 entries or 5,000 invoices here, right? And from these 5,000, just 200 are those who are our prime members. So we just want to extract the information about those prime members. So these 200 must be common in between these two tables. The prime member ID or something different will be there, that is common, just like the prime member ID or like that, right? So to extract that particular information out of it, we need inner join. Got it? And I hope, Jeff, you understood what is the concept of inner join now. Okay. So now let me explain you the concept of having a particular joins, how it works. Okay. So let me use the fan again. Just hold on. Okay. So suppose I have two tables. Okay. 1, 2, 2, 3, and 4. These are the entries in table number A. And in table number B, I have the entries 1, 1, 2, 3, and 3. Okay. This is the entries in table number B. So how you can identify now that what is the common in between these two tables? I just have this one, this information with me. So let me tell you that how it works, how join actually works. So what join will do when you will say, just say the inner join. So how it works, first element, or you can say this one first. Okay, this starts here from 1. So it will say 1 is to 1, right? It found common. So say 1 is to 1. Then it checked the second element like this. Again, it found a common. So it will say 1 is to 1. Similarly, it checked for another values. There it found no common values. Then it starts checking for the second element. Here, no common. Here, again, no common. Here, it found common. So it says 2 is to 2. One more entry is common. Then similarly, the remaining, no common thing. Then for the third element, no common, again, one common. So this will be the entry you will found. All the other 2 are not common. For the 3, no common, no common, no common. Here it will found common thing. It will say 3 is to 3. For the last one again, it says yes, it is also common. Now it will calculate for 4. So with 4, it will not found any common values. So this will be the result of table number C. You will say, sir, the table contains only 5 rows. Okay. Here we are getting 6 rows as a result. This will happen when you will implement the joins. At that time you will get confused that what it happens. So this is the exact way how the matrix of these two tables are matched so that it can find the appropriate common thing out of it. Okay, so that's why in interviews also you will find a lot of questions like you have two tables. Let's say table number 1. Just hold. Sorry. Sorry. Table number 1 and table number 2. And table number 1 contains these values 5 times 1, and table number 2 contains 3 times 1. what is the result of inner join? So you will get 15 rows in this particular combination. Okay, so that's why you need to understand the concept that it is working on a combinational sets. If you have gone through the set theory before, then this is the set theory, that how the unions are working. Okay, in set theory, there will be a union in between the two compounds. Okay, so this is the part of union where matrices are working. Okay, so basically here also, according to the matrix theorem, these particular joins are performing. So you have to understand it. You are not supposed to go for the combinations. This particular joins will perform the combinations, but you need to understand how it is performing. Yes, Jeff.
Yeah, so for you mentioned interview, so if they ask you, do you have to, how do you get the 15 so fast? Because if you have to calculate it, do you have to show them that you're calculating, or do you have a shortcut to do it?
See, it is very simple to calculate that there are 5 elements in table number 1. Okay, and there are 3 elements in here. All are same. So just multiply them. 5 into 3. That must be the combination. Because if you will see 1, 2, and 3. 3 common combinations are there for each of these elements. So 3 combinations for each of them. So it will give you 15. Different combinations are not given. If they will not give you this kind of scenario, this first kind of scenario, because it is very easy to identify into it. Okay, but this is somehow confusing. Most of the time, what the replies are there, that 3 rows are there. These are the common rows, right? So most of the time, people says that these are the 3 rows, the result of inner join. Okay, but there are 15 rows as a result of inner join. They are just observing the concept, that is the concept of joins clear to you or not. So in general, whenever you have the different values, then you can identify the joins as per the method, this method, that just extract the common. But when you have multiple common values, okay, that time it will get, you have to understand this combinational method. Okay, here we have 6. Okay, you can see one have 2 entries. Okay, so there will be 2 entries for this one. 2 have single entry, so for here we have 1 entry with it, 1 entry with it. Okay, 3 again have 2 entries here. You can say 2 entries with this 3. 4 doesn't have any entries, right? So how many rows will be there? 2, 3, 4, and 2, 6. So here we have 6 output. This is how you can quickly identify the thing. Okay, understood? Okay then. So let's move ahead. Thank you. So let's move ahead and see a simple example of an inner join. Okay, from the tables that we already created. Okay, so let's move to the SQL. Let me share the whole screen. Okay, So where is your file? Let me open that file. Yes. So here what we have already prepared. Check. Do we have? Yes. Employees and employee salary, both the tables we already created. So how you are going to implement a join? So the simple way, first of all, whenever you want to implement join, let me make it like this, join, okay, and zoom it. Whenever you want to implement the join, remember to look into the tables first. Let's start from, first of all, I need employee or employee table. Then second, I need select start from employee salary, EMP salary table. Okay, execute both of them and look, are these the same table that I need to work with? That's right. That's okay. So here, as you can see, we have the ID as a common IDs. Okay. So here also we know that few things are common, but before some time, when we are dealing with the delete function, as you can see, we deleted the employee ID 5. So in first table, that is the employee table, we don't have 1005. Okay, but here in table number 2, we have 1005. Okay, if you will observe, the only difference in between these two tables is of this particular row. And in employee table, we have 1013 up to 13 employee IDs. So it must extract these values only. It will not have the common thing about 11, 12, and 13 in table B. Okay, so let's see what will be the result and what is the syntax, that how to write a join. Okay, so say select star. You have to say from the first table, that is table number A. Okay, that is employee table, right? Then you have to say inner join. Okay, and after inner join, you have to mention the table number 2 like this, right? Then one thing is there, that is you need to mention on. On it means you are defining on what basis you want this inner join to perform. Okay, from employees table, employee dot, we have employee ID. Okay, that will be equals to EMP salary table dot EMP ID. Okay, why I mentioned dot here, as before I have not mentioned any dot, like to extract job title, I have not mentioned employee salary dot job title. Here also you can see job title, again I didn't use, group by I didn't use. These are the column names, this is the table name. So why I used employees dot employee ID equals to employee salary dot employee ID, because in this particular statement, this one, I am using two different tables. Okay, and this is the common thing, that is employee ID and the employee ID in both the tables. If I will not mention that this employee ID belongs to which table, right? So how SQL will identify which particular column I need to use. That's why you need to mention the path that from which it needs to extract. That is from the employees table, employee ID belongs. Second, this employee ID belongs to employee salary, so that it will be identified by SQL very easily. Now, if I will run it, what I get, see, it merged both the tables. And how it is getting here, that is employee ID, first name, last name, age, gender. This is belongs to table number 1, right? That is your employee table. Employee ID, job title and salary. It is from employee salary table. Why this type of join happens? Because you have not mentioned what you need to extract. You just saved the star. Yes, Jeff.
Yeah, can you also say select from employee salary, inner join, employee, or no?
Definitely. Whenever you have this kind of confusion, just remove that confusion by using that like this. Just interchange it. Employee, right? Here also you need to change.
And you get the same answer.
No, you will get different answer in this case, like this. Got it?
So, okay,
So
so when
it is just interchange in this case because you have common things. But as I told you in the example also, this one, right? If you will consider this same example, okay, and by just interchanging both the tables, as first of all I will consider B, then I will consider A. So what will happen? One will search the common thing. So 1, 1, no other combination is there. This is the second combination. Okay. For 2, it is the one combination and this is the second. This is the one and this is the second. You are getting the same result in this particular case, but if you have very few values here, okay, so in that particular case you will get different results, right? So what is going on when you interchange the table? Okay, then the first table treated to be the primary table. Okay, so suppose, let me remove all here. Suppose you have two tables like 1, 2 and 3 only here, and you have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4 like this here. Okay, so this is your table number 1 and this is the table number 2, right? If I will use B as the first table and A as the second table, then how it works like this. One of B will scan the whole elements of table number A, right? But if I am having the opposite, so 1, 1, 2, 2, 3 and 4. So 1, 2 and 3. Just this thing is there. This time your table number A, the components of table number A will scan all the element of table number B like this. Like this. Okay. So that's the difference. So in that combinations, sometimes there will be variations. Okay. So That's why whenever you are interchanging the tables, then you will find the variations sometimes.
Okay. So when you're given a requirement, when do you know that you have to choose employee salary from select from employee or select from employee? When do you know, or you just choose it anyhow you want?
That is mentioned. That is what you want to look into. So basically, the table that contains the large data, we consider that one as the first table.
Okay. Okay, that's what I want. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So here, the first one, we are considering the first one. Let me delete this one. Okay. And let me execute it. So here, if I want a particular values to be there, okay, let's say employee ID must be there. So employee ID of which particular table? For employee table, I will like to have the employee ID. Okay, because employee ID is available in both the tables. Okay, so here you are selecting the variables from both the tables. For first table, you don't need to mention the extension, that is employee. Employee ID is available in both the tables. That's why I used employee ID. For suppose first name, you don't need to mention the extension. Just say I don't want last name. So age, gender, oops, age, gender we have. Okay. Then job title I don't want. I just want the salary. Okay. So you can mention like this. If it is agreed. Otherwise, with salary, you can mention for the purpose, that is employee salary. Okay. And comma, that you have salary here for your better result. Because for we always need that the results will be accurate. Okay. So sometimes it gives you the variations. Now, if you will execute, you can see employee ID, first name, age, gender, and the salary is only here. Okay. Here, if you will not use this particular thing, then even it will work for you. Okay. But employee ID is common in between these two tables. That's why it will get confused. If you use this one, it will give you the error. The column employee ID in field is ambiguous. So SQL get confused that from where I will get the employee ID. Okay, let's say EMP employee dot. Okay, so this is the way you write your SQL query for joins. Okay, so first of all, in select statement, you can mention from where you want to extract it. Second thing, the first table in from statement. Then in inner join, you have to mention the table number 2. Okay. Then the last statement is what is the condition you want to combine it, right? So in this way, this is the particular syntax of using the join. Okay.